Listen, a couple things real quick. There it is. Quick video. So I just went through my DMs, um, and I got a couple questions from some high schoolers, youngins. I believe the age group from a couple DMs I answered were between 16 and 18, and they were in regards to the Air Force and just picking a path. A lot of stress surrounding that age group as far as not knowing exactly what you want, not having direction, not having all the answers. And the advice I gave was quite simple in nature, and it was in regards to wisdom. Wisdom is your ticket to everything else. Um, Excel where you are, people. Excel where you are. It's not easy. Excellence is really identifying the highest quality you're currently capable of and then actually executing upon that, and not so much having all the answers surrounding everything else. As I sit here right now, just left the gym, I have pretty much no answers concerning what I would do, 5, 10 years from now. I don't know whether or not I'm getting married. I don't know whether or not I'm going to have kids. I don't know. But I have wisdom. And wisdom is not so much going to give me those answers, but it's going to keep me from making mistakes that takes away options later. And that's probably the biggest mistake you can make when you're young, is to be reckless with your time, be reckless with your decisions now, and suffer later because you didn't recognize that what you do now comes later. It comes in a different form. It comes in the form of pain when you don't want it, when it's uncomfortable. Realize that what you do now will show up later in a different form. So while you're in high school, this is the time to really recognize how you retain information. How do you learn? What methods are most efficient for you to retain information, for you to, go along whatever path you're choosing. In most cases, you will need to learn how to study. You will need to learn how you retain information. How does information cling to your mind? What methods? Personally, I always mention this. I need repetition. I need to constantly hear and see the same thing over and over again. I use the app Quizlet. I have to type my notes in the form of questions, and then I take quizzes over and over again. Continually seeing the same thing over and over again. How do I retain information? That's a path you need to embark on as soon as possible. Also, so you can apply it where you are currently. So if you're in high school, that's a perfect time to really embark on how you retain information, to really discover how your mind works. And again, from that standpoint, you move on to where you're going. So wisdom allows you to be successful long term. It preserves you. It keeps you from making dumb mistakes. You're probably dealing with a lot of, trending, peer pressure-y, foolishness surrounding you. But once you leave that environment, you're going to realize that, you're in a different place now. Adulthood is very harsh. Right now in New York City, it's freezing cold. I came out to my car. Right now it's 29 degrees. There are people right now suffering, the consequences of the mistakes they made in their past. They may be homeless. They may be out in the cold. They may be walking. They may be driving a car with no heat. Who knows? There may not be any air conditioning in their house. All results of decisions a human made. A human. So realize that, the time you've been given right now, is a gift. It's a gift. Do not go into your future without realizing that you must create it. Because your future's coming. Every second that passes, you're in your future. You're passing on your present moment. So realize that even after leaving the gym, I'm going to see those results later. And then when I go eat, I'm going to see the results of that later. And I will constantly rename my future now. So, those who are constantly, I can't wait to get to my future. I can't wait to meet my future wife. No, you create those. You create that present. Because tomorrow will be renamed today. You will never see tomorrow. You will see today. You woke up in today. So realize that everything you want to see later, 17, 16, 15, 14-year-old, Everything you want to see later starts with right now. That's why I'm making this video, because I want to see the results of changing someone's perspective later. I don't know who I'm talking. I might be talking to the next Jeff Bezos or, Steve Jobs, what have you. And so I just sow seeds and allow it to show up, in my future. So realize that, wisdom is going to make your path, safe. A lot of things you may want later, you don't even know about yet. A lot of jobs I want right now require a higher security clearance. They would not be made available to me if I make mistakes when I was younger. Thankfully, my parents kind of sheltered me when I was growing up, so a lot of mistakes weren't available to me. A lot of things that I would have probably got into, smoking, drinking, a lot of things I wasn't interested in, man, because I was unaware of it. My first hip hop song I ever heard was "Forever" by Lil Wayne and Drake. That was the first secular song I've ever heard. Obviously I listen to a lot more, secular music now, but a lot of things that they're speaking to or alluding to in their music, I would have been privy to it a lot earlier in life. Now I'm able to make decisions from wisdom and not so much, reaction, not so much, impulse. Realize your younger years, it's a gift to be young. There are billion-dollar industries designed to make you young again, to give the appearance of being young. Everyone wants to be young again. Every day we wake up, we are delaying death. Everything we do is in the delaying of death, because it's coming. Death is waiting on your ass. It's coming. And so as I go to the gym, as I eat, as I drink water, I'm delaying death. But the point is to enjoy life and not so much realize that death is there, but to make decisions based on how I want to live and how my future is going to be made up. Don't overthink it. Seek anti-fragile experiences as far as what experience is going to benefit me, what mistakes are going to benefit me. Avoid those mistakes that stay with you the rest of your life. We watch the news and you see people taking L's of things they did years ago. And it comes back. And no one's perfect. Everybody has a past. Everybody has a skeleton equivalent in the closet of things that you would hope never gets uncovered, never comes back to bite me. But we've all made mistakes, because wisdom is something that you either learn via pain or questions. And not all of us are asking questions. I haven't always been asking questions. So a lot of things that I had to learn was via pain. I had to bump my head a couple times. So realize that you're going to make mistakes, but you can kind of avoid those mistakes that travel with you, that come with you into your future, into your present moment. So youngins, 15, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, all that. You're young, you have time. Don't get caught up in, which decision is the perfect decision. You will never know the alternative to your decision making. So at some point you will have to choose something. One of the biggest struggles is having a mind like mine, where I love learning, I love discovering, I love researching things so I can make a quality decision. But then you get caught up in the process of studying so much that you forget I have to choose at some point. I have to stop studying at some point and actually make a decision. So, a lot of youngins, they get caught up in so much of just, I don't know what to choose. I don't know which path to take. I don't know which direction to go in. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know which job I want in the Air Force. I don't know if I want to join the Air Force or the Marines or the Army or the Navy. You get caught up in all the different variables that you forget life is long, people. You could live to be 100 years old. Do the math on that. How many careers could you have in the next 70, 80 years? The Air Force, the minimum contract is 4 years. Think about the experiences you can create in 4 years and get out and then pursue something else. Now you have a free education. You can go any direction you want. Don't get caught up in the details. Seek wisdom and then move on from there. Avoid the mistakes that stay with you. Avoid the crowd that gets you attached to certain mistakes, that gets your name sullied. A lot of things I'm able to do now is because my parents watched over me. My parents guided me in a certain direction. The fact that I get paid to play piano is because my mom put a piano in the house. It's not because I had the wise ideas to just, hey, I'm going to play piano so later I can get paid for it. It adds to my income. It's passive. I go to church anyway. So why not get paid to play piano? No. A lot of things happen because my parents guided me in a certain direction. They used wisdom. A lot of no's I got as a youngin', I wasn't excited to see them. I was not happy to get no's for a lot of different things. But now those no's manifest in a lot of yeses from a mature standpoint. Now that, the things I want to pursue now, I can say yes to a lot of different things because my parents told me no. A lot of no's that you're saying now, you will see them manifest into yeses later. Things that you actually want. Things that a mature person would pursue. You're able to say yes to those things because you were saying no now. Social media it's a dope tool, a dope resource, but don't get caught up in that so much that it affects you in reality and hands you an L. Social media is not real. It's a lot of editing. It's a lot of, lenses, and it's a point of view. It's a perspective in a single second, a single moment. I can edit a YouTube video to make me look like I'm Will Smith, the GOAT of the world. I can edit, some footage of me playing basketball, make me look like I'm the second coming of Kobe. In reality, it's some quality editing. I didn't show any misses. Social media rarely shows a lot of misses. It rarely shows the mistakes people are making. There are certain, Instagram pages that are dedicated to showing other people's mistakes. Be careful to go on there and not be worshiping someone else's mistakes and magnifying someone else's mistakes because your turn is coming. A lot of things that I wish I would have known when I was younger. I'm not old now, but when I was younger, is just to try more things, but to seek wisdom, to read more books, to ask questions, to find perspective, to expose myself to a different way of life, of things that are available to me, and to open my mindset. To not be so trapped by the things that don't matter. Your jeans are not name brand? What? Your shoes are not name brand? What? I can buy whatever I want right now. It doesn't matter. I wear all black because I love the color. I wear hoodies because they're comfortable. I don't let someone, you should be wearing, a full suit jacket and a blazer and some, who knows? Next year, that might be my thing. That might be my favorite outfit. But for right now, I make decisions based on what I enjoy because really I'm the one I have to live that. Realize that when you're young and you have so many people trying to focus your attention on things that don't matter, you have to live your life. You have to live with the consequences, good and bad, of your decisions. If you go out there and act a fool because someone pressured you, you suffer the consequences. Look at 6ix9ine. Shout out 6ix9ine. Notice how when push come to shove, he protected himself. His family, his. A lot of people give him flack. A lot of people, coming for his life. But think about it. What would you do? I'm not saying he's wrong or right. I'm saying avoid the whole entire, possibility that you're in that position. Avoid that. Avoid the case where you have to choose between your friends and yourself. Avoid it. Avoid the crowd that makes you choose between your life in prison and your life of taking over social media by storm because you snitched. He has to live with the consequences that his friends, the people that are surrounding him that he put in prison, they're suffering because of their own decision making and because of who they trusted. Someone you're trusting right now may be the person that ruins, your quality of life later. Sometimes it's important that you be alone. I spent a lot of years by myself. Even right now, I'm not surrounded by a ton of people. I don't have a ton of friends that, I wake up to a ton of text messages. Yo, let's go here. Come here. We're going out tonight. We're doing this. We're doing this. It's not the case. But I'm able to control my path a lot easier when I don't have a ton of different people crossing it, a ton of people going different directions, a ton of peer pressure, no, I don't have a lot of that. I'm able to go to the gym early in the morning because I'm not surrounded by a ton of foolishness. I'm focused. I wake up focused. I wake up with certain things. I know I must accomplish this before I go have fun in New York City. I know I need to do this first. I know I need to make a video. I know I need to sow into someone else's life. I know I need to be reading books. I need to be listening to podcasts. I need to be feeding my mind. It's okay to be alone. When you get to military, it's okay to be alone, but realize that you will need people. Even right now, you will need people. So, let being alone be a choice, not an end result of a bad decision or, breaking up a friendship or burning of bridges. Let being alone be a decision. I choose to be alone now, not so much that I have to be alone because I've ostracized everybody around me. I've pushed everybody away. I made bad decisions. And then don't be in a place where you can't choose to be alone because, the attention you bring on yourself. Prime example, 6ix9ine. He's going to want to be alone in a lot. I'm telling you, when he gets free, he's going to want to be alone. But in a lot of cases, he will never be alone again. Somebody wants a camera in his face, a microphone in his face. Somebody's trying to communicate. Somebody's trying to send him viral again. It's going to be foolishness based on decision making. I don't want to make this about 6ix9ine, but, you guys all know, you're all watching it. Why not get some principle from that? Let him be your mentor. Let him, show you the proper path. Don't do what he did. Don't make the same mistakes. When somebody made the mistakes already, why go repeat them? That makes no sense. You saw him take an L. You saw someone else take an L. You saw this happen. You saw this person get a divorce. You saw them cheat. You saw this happen. You saw somebody lose all their money at the casino. You saw them make a bad investment over here. You saw them buy a car they couldn't afford. You saw them buy a house that would get repossessed. You get evicted. This happened. Bankruptcy. You see all these different mistakes, and then you don't prevent them yourself. That's wisdom. I'm not saying be crippled by decision making or different analytics or different variables at play. I'm saying consider them and say, they made a mistake here. I'm not making that same mistake. It doesn't need to be repeated. That's the video. Wisdom. You don't got to be old to be wise. You can be 16, 17, 18 years old and be wise. You can be 16, 17, 18 years old and be rich. But it's relative to your decision making. You don't have to join the Air Force because your parents said you need to. You can start your business. You can go to college. You can not go to college. You can go work at Walmart. You have options. But the point is to keep those options. And that's going to be relative to your decision making. How do I keep my options? Make wise decisions. How do I become wise? Ask questions. Seek mentorship. Read a book. Ask questions. Read a book. Listen to a podcast. Watch a YouTube video. Ask a question. Ask someone who's gone before you. Don't make those same mistakes. And then when it comes to actually making positive decisions, anti-fragile decision making, decisions that only grow you. I go to the gym. I lift 1 pound 100 times. It may not hurt me. It may, I may get a little pump from it. But, when it comes to those big decisions, I'm not in a rush. I'm using proper form. And it's going to benefit me. It's going to hurt. It's going to be stressful. My back might be a little sore. But, it's a decision that I took this risk and I walked away stronger. It benefited me. That's the video. Seek wisdom. Say what's good to your boy.